Let's get it. 580 Sports Talk is live and direct on a Thursday. Happy Thursday and happy draft day. The NFL draft is upon us, and we're going draft heavy for the next 3 hours here on the Sports Voice of Kansas, 580 WIBW, FM 104.9, online at 580WIBW.com, and in living color on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, and our Facebook page, WIBW News. However, wherever, whenever you're tuned into the program today, thank you so much for being a part of 580 Sports Talk. My name is Dan Lucero. Spencer Dupuis and Brendan Dworzinski will be along in a little while as well, because it is draft day and it is time to make our predictions. How will things unfold tonight in the first round of the 2026 NFL draft? A first round that we haven't seen in a long time for the Kansas City Chiefs. Number one, they have 2 first-round picks, which that's not common. Number 2, they have one in the top 10. That's really not common. But here the Chiefs stand with the number 9 overall pick, earned with their play on the field and their 6-11 overall record in 2025, and the number 29 overall pick, which they received in a trade for Trent McDuffie. 2 times the Chiefs are going to be on the clock. At least that is where they are scheduled to be on the clock tonight. So not only will we all make our predictions, official, final predictions about who the Chiefs will select, we'll also present our own mock drafts and once again have a little 580 Sports Talk first round mock draft competition here amongst ourselves. And of course, we'll be live on our YouTube channel tonight during the draft. We'll react live to the number 9 overall pick and to the number 29 overall pick, provided that's where the Chiefs pick. If they pick higher, lower, we'll adjust. But we plan to be on our YouTube channel tonight at 8:30 Central Time. Again, the name of the YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk. Go subscribe, and you won't miss when we go live tonight for our 2026 NFL Draft Stravaganza on the 580 Sports Talk YouTube channel. So I won't hold you. It's a lot of draft today. I've got my mock draft. Brendan's got his. Spencer's got his. And we will all explain our reasoning behind each pick, or the more interesting of the picks. And certainly we'll all have a discussion about what we have the Chiefs doing and why we have the Chiefs drafting the way that we are predicting that they will draft tonight. Will they go with an edge rusher, a wide receiver, a cornerback? Will they go, as so many have insisted for the last month, with an offensive tackle, maybe even as high as number 9? Will there be a trade up or down from either of those draft picks? A lot of smoke around a trade up from number 9. Even our own Matt Derrick thinks it's possible. Our good pal, our Chiefs insider. We will cover all of those bases as we go along today here on 580 Sports Talk. But, of course, it is a Thursday, which means we're going to make time for the local sports spotlight. Rick Peterson of TopSports.News will join us. He's our guest today. He'll join us at the bottom of the 3 o'clock hour, talking all things Shawnee County High School sports and Washburn University athletics as well. We will make some time for the local sports spotlight. But predominantly draft today. Then, of course, our typical Thursday shenanigans, because we have a full show today. No Royals baseball. We're with you until 6. We'll do our headlines, including a playoff roundup. We got What Is Wrong With You. We'll do a little either or over under. All of that is coming up on the program today. And we definitely want to hear from you. Make your predictions today. Who are the Chiefs going to pick? I want to hear what you think the Chiefs will do tonight. 785-272-9429. That's 785-272-9429. You can also interact with us if you are watching live on our YouTube channel. One more time, the name of that channel, 580 Sports Talk. Hop on into that live chat. If you are watching the show live, say hello, interact with your fellow listeners and your hosts here on the program. I see Mark H. in first today. Andrew, Paul, Ryan into the chat today. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you folks and even more of you in the live chat as we go along on our YouTube stream. Before we get rolling today, let's give you a keyword for this hour for our Win 1K a Day sweepstakes here on 580 WIBW. as we continue to give out $1,000 a day. Your chance to register is right now. The key word for this hour is cook. Cook. C-O-O-K. Cook. As in former chief safety Brian Cook. Cook is the key word. Text cook to 785-272-9429. That's all you have to do to get registered to win $1,000 today from 580 WIBW. You have until 4 o'clock to text the keyword cook. Text cook to 785-272-9429. Without any further ado, let's get to it. And today, I will say, is a good day to be on the video stream. If you're able to make it over to the 580 Sports Talk YouTube channel or WIBW News on Facebook, because we will be posting our mock drafts. All three of us, appears independently of each other, used the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator and made every pick of the first round, and we compete every year. Remember, if you get the pick and the player exactly correct, the team and the player, I should say, the team that picked the player is 3 points. If you get the team right with the player, that's a point. If you get the pick right with the player, so the player goes at number 9 overall, but they go to a different team, but you have the right player going 9th, you get a point for that. So it's 2 points for everything being correct and 1 point for partial credit. And then we score the mock drafts at the end of the day. So, for example, like if we all have Fernando Mendoza at number 1 overall to the Las Vegas Raiders, we're all going to get 2 points for that when that happens. Everybody in the world knows that that's happening. Unless you've been under a rock for the last 4 months, Fernando Mendoza is going 1-1 to the Raiders. But, for example, if Arvell Reese goes number 3 to the Cardinals, and I have that projection, then I would get 2 points for that. But if Arvell Reese, let's say the Chiefs trade up to number 3 and they take Arvell Reese, well, then I would get 1 point for having Reese at number 3, but I would not get the second point for having the correct team. I didn't do any mock draft trades in my mock draft. I think there are going to be a lot of them. They're just really hard to predict. And I wanted to make this as easy on myself as I possibly could. So my mock draft, at the very least, doesn't have any trades. We'll see if Spencer and Brendan buck that trend when we see theirs a little bit later on. But let's not waste any more time, and let's get to my mock draft, which is now appearing on your screen over on the YouTube channel over at 580 Sports Talk. My mock draft for this season. And this is what we're doing. Fernando Mendoza, number 1, obviously. Then I think the draft gets interesting after that because it could be either David Bailey or Arvell Reese at number 2 to the Jets. A lot of the late rumors have it as Bailey, so I'll go with that. I guess maybe I'm too easily swayed, but I do think the Texas Tech edge is going to be selected by the Jets with the number 2 pick. Then I have Arvell Reese going to Arizona with the number 3 pick. I thought maybe they'd think about tackle, but there are some questions around Francis Moanoa right now. Arvell Reese, arguably the best defensive player in the draft, just in terms of tools. I think the Cardinals will find that difficult to pass up. They need edge help. Arvell Reese, number 3 to Arizona. Of Jeremiah Love, number 4 to Tennessee. I don't know. I feel great about this one because Robert Saleh is the head coach, very defensive-minded. But you got to score points in the NFL. And I think having an offensive core that includes Cam Ward and Jeremiah Love for the next 4 years could run up a lot of points there in Tennessee. Number 5, I have the Giants going with Jordan Tyson. Again, this is a lot of late smoke as well for Tyson, who's been a riser in the process. He looked good in his workout. Team's still maybe a little bit concerned about his injury history. But more and more you hear talk that actually it's Tyson and not Carnell Tate who's the best player at wide receiver in this draft. And a lot of talk that the Giants want a wide receiver to pair with Malik Neighbors. Jordan Tyson is it. I think they go Tyson number 5. At number 6, I have the Browns going with offensive line. They take the first offensive lineman of the draft. I have the Browns taking Francis Moanoa out of Miami. This is where the draft gets interesting for the Chiefs, to the point where Matt Derrick, our Chiefs insider from ChiefsDigest.com, his final prediction mock draft today has the Chiefs trading up to 6, swapping picks with Cleveland. And the reasoning behind it is that if the Chiefs want to be sure that they get the guy they like at either edge or wide receiver, they better get him before the picks at 7 or 8 from Washington and New Orleans, because those picks could go in any direction. And both Washington and New Orleans could go wide receiver. New Orleans could very much use some pass rush help. Those are 2 scary picks for the Chiefs. If they're just going to sit and wait and hope that their guy drops, 7 and 8 are kind of dicey. But in my mock draft, I think the Chiefs make it through okay. I have Washington fortifying their secondary with Mansour Delane, the cornerback out of LSU. Then I have the Saints eagerly jumping on Carnell Tate, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, to pair with Chris Olave with a nice pair of Ohio State wide receivers. And that leaves the player I've been thinking the Chiefs will draft and should draft all along, Ruben Bain, the edge out of Miami. That is the pick for the Chiefs on my mock draft at number 9. He is a game wrecker. I don't care how short his arms are. He gets to the quarterback. He plays with an edge. The Chiefs have to impact the quarterback more. And I don't think there is a more impactful pass rusher in this draft that fits what the Chiefs want in a pass rusher than Ruben Bain. If you want to argue Bailey's a better prospect or that Reese is a better prospect in a vacuum, I would hear you out. But I don't think either of those guys fit the mold in Kansas City the way that Ruben Bain does. So he's my pick for the Chiefs at number 9 overall. I have New York winding up with their second pick, the Giants of the first round, the pick they just got from Cincinnati, taking Caleb Downs, the safety out of Ohio State. They would sprint to the podium to get Downs if he's still there at 10. The Dolphins at number 11, I have them going offensive line. Spencer Fano, the tackle out of Utah. The Cowboys, seduced by the tools, take Sonny Styles, the linebacker from Ohio State, with the 12th pick. At number 13, I have the Rams selecting Monroe Freeling, the tackle out of Georgia. Number 14, I think my mock draft and every other mock draft in the world has the Ravens going interior offensive line. Mr. Ione from Penn State. That's not his first name. Olivia Vega Ione, I believe, is close to the pronunciation. That's why I call him Sir. He's a very big man. I call him Sir. But Ione is the pick for me, the guard out of Penn State. He'll be the first interior offensive lineman off the board to Baltimore at 14. At 15, I have the Buccaneers, a team in need of edge help, going with Akeem Mesidor out of Miami. He was Ruben Bain's running mate. Number 16, the Jets take a wide receiver. They go with Mekhi Lemon out of USC. That's first half of the draft for me. 17th pick, Detroit. I think they like Caden Proctor a lot, and I think that will be the pick, the tackle out of Alabama. Number 18, this is another one that's in like everybody's mock draft. It's almost too obvious. Minnesota taking Dylan Tiedemann, the safety out of Oregon. Number 19, Carolina will take Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. I am on record. I don't think Sadiq's going to be a very good pro. Great athlete. He'll do one or two things that make you go, wow, but I just can't lean on a tight end who didn't produce in college. For me, that would be a waste of a first-round pick. Hope the Chiefs don't make that mistake, but somebody's going to, and I think it will be Carolina at number 19. Number 20, Dallas, needing edge rush help, goes with Keldrick Falk, the edge out of Auburn. Number 21 is the Pittsburgh Steelers pick. It won't be sexy, but it will certainly fill a position of need. Pittsburgh's weekend offensive line fortified with Blake Miller, the offensive tackle out of Clemson. Number 22, Chargers go with the first interior defensive lineman of the draft, Ohio State defensive tackle Caden McDonald. Very Jim Harbaugh pick for me. Got to win the trenches. They were not good against the run. They were not good up the middle defensively last year. Caden McDonald should help with that. At number 23, the Eagles take the second Utah offensive lineman of the first round, Caleb Lomu, the tackle and former Ute. At number 24, Cleveland with their second first-round pick. They get their wide receiver after all. They go with Omar Cooper out of Indiana. Number 25, Chicago fortifies the back end of their defense with the safety out of Toledo, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, pick number 25. At pick 26, the Bills I went kind of waffled on this because obviously they need wide receiver help, but come on, we know Brandon Beane doesn't really value wide receiver like that. They're going to go with edge help. TJ Parker out of Clemson is my pick for the Bills at number 26. San Francisco picks 27th. John Lynch is going to open up OpenAI or Claude or whatever large language model he's going to use to make all his draft picks this year. And he is going to take a wide receiver with 13 fingers and a boob because that's what AI spits out. Garbage slop. If you want to do AI with your draft, John Lynch, all the best. In all seriousness, San Francisco will just take the best guy available at 27. I think that's Jermod McCoy, the cornerback of Tennessee. At that point, McCoy is probably a top 10 talent physically, but unfortunately for him, had a knee injury, didn't play last year. There's some reports that the knee hasn't healed all the way. I know that San Francisco's record with injuries is already sketchy, but too talented to pass up that late in the draft. And at a position of need, I think the Niners take Jermod McCoy. At number 28, Houston bulks up the middle of their defense. They're super invested on that side of the ball, so I think they'll add to it. They'll go with Peter Woods, the big defensive tackle out of Clemson. That brings up the Chiefs at number 29, and I've seen this name too often at number 29 to think it's a mistake. I have the Chiefs going with Colton Hood, the cornerback out of Tennessee. And I know that the Chiefs have struck gold time and again with cornerbacks taken outside the first round, but Brett Veach has always had an eye out for first-round talent at the position, even if it was not drafted necessarily by the Chiefs. He took a flyer on Kyrie Elam this offseason. He took a flyer on Mike Hughes after he flamed out in Minnesota. Brett Veach has always understood, it's good to have high-end talent at defensive back. And yes, they believe they can find that later, but at number 29, with Jermod McCoy already off the board and the potential for a run on corners early in round 2, meaning you might not get to sit back and wait for one at number 40, Colton Hood is the pick. Big and physical, the words for Hood, because I like Avion Terrell better as a prospect. I like the fact that he compares his own game to Trent McDuffie, and that's really appealing. But again, the Chiefs have a type. Steve Spagnuolo has a type. They like physical cornerbacks, and I think they will add another one to their room with Colton Hood out of Tennessee at number 29. So Bain and Hood is the Chiefs' haul. At number 30, that's where I have Avion Terrell going to Miami with that 30th overall pick. At number 31, I have the Patriots taking Max Yanachor, and I sure hope they make a pick tonight, because if they make a pick, we're supposed to hear from their head coach, Mike Vrabel. And I got a lot of questions for Mike Vrabel, and not a damn one of them got to do with the number 31 pick in the draft. So I would love to hear Mike Vrabel talk to reporters tonight. In case you haven't seen, there have been some developments in the recent off-the-field story that Mike Vrabel has been involved with. Some significant developments. And I think it would be great to make Mike Vrabel address the media tonight. I think he ought to. I think he does owe some people some answers. But an even funnier outcome, honestly, is the Patriots trading out of the first round. Trading back, like the Jets trade up or the Cardinals trade up for Ty Simpson, and the Patriots can still get their guy and say, well, yeah, we moved out of the first round, so sorry, you don't get to hear from their head coach tonight. Very sorry. Scheduling conflict. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. But if the Patriots do stick in the first round, I think they go tackle. We saw what that looked like in the Super Bowl. They couldn't block anybody. Morgan Moses is 35 years old. They need another tackle. Max Yanachor out of Arizona State is the pick. Then at 32, the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. They just won a Super Bowl in large part because they could lean on their running game. They've lost Kenneth Walker. Zach Charbonnet's out for a good chunk of next season. They signed Emmanuel Wilson, but they are not going into next season with Emmanuel Wilson and a big old question mark. George Holani, Velus Jones, at running back. They value that position. John Schneider has drafted running backs high. Remember when he took Rashad Penny in the first round? Rashad Penny, excuse me. Rashad Penny was a first-round draft pick. Y'all remember that? That was something. Anyway, I think the Seahawks do it again with the number 32 pick, and they take the second Notre Dame running back of the first round, Jadarian Price, the Fighting Irish running back, is the pick at number 32. So how'd I do? Let me know. 785-272-9429 or the live chat on our YouTube stream, 580 Sports Talk. Again, my Chiefs picks in my mock draft. Reuben Bain at number 9, Colton Hood at number 29. The Chiefs get 2 starters at defensive positions of need. No offensive tackle, no wide receiver, but I think the way this draft board falls, that was another reason why I went with Hood at number 29. You'll note that in this first round, I have 4 wide receivers going. At the end of that first round, Denzel Boston is still on the board. Casey Concepcion is still on the board. Chris Brazzell, still on the board. Jeremy Bernard, still on the board. Chiefs could absolutely pop a wide receiver at number 40 who could help them day 1, or they could move up early in day 2 if they want to make sure that they get their guy. So that's why I had the Chiefs going with cornerback. I have been firm on my stance that edge, corner, and wide receiver should be the first 3 picks of the draft. And maybe Brett Veach throws a curveball, but I do think that's going to be the path the Chiefs follow. Wide receiver, edge, corner, in some order. Two of those 3 positions are going off the board tonight for the Kansas City Chiefs. 785-272-9429 is the number. 785-272-9429. Also comment in the live chat on YouTube. We'll come back. We'll get your thoughts, your response. Who do you want to see the Chiefs end up with tonight? Let me know. We'll talk about it next. We got Rick Peterson coming up for the local sports spotlight and a whole lot more. You're listening to 580 Sports Talk. .330 on 580 Sports Talk. Dan Lucero with you. Spencer Brennan will be along in the 4 o'clock hour. So we give you our mock drafts on today, this draft day, day 1 of the 2026 NFL draft. Of course, it wouldn't be a Chiefs draft day without some controversy now, would it? And there is a story that has broken today that the defensive backs coach for the Chiefs, Dave Merritt, has been arrested and charged with misdemeanor domestic battery shortly after 9:30 a.m. today. The district attorney's office of Johnson County filed a complaint accusing Merritt of unlawfully, knowingly, or recklessly causing bodily harm to a daughter, which constitutes a domestic violence offense. He will make his appearance, via Zoom earlier today. Chiefs said they're aware of the arrest, and they have no further comment. There are no further details about the arrest, which occurred about 8:50 p.m. on Wednesday night, after which he was booked into the Johnson County Jail. Obviously, not what you want to hear. It's an awful accusation. And Dave Merritt's been a widely respected and extremely important part of the Chiefs coaching staff since he's been in Kansas City. And much of the draft discussion that we've had here over the last couple of months has involved Dave Merritt and what he brings to the Chiefs staff. His ability to work with defensive backs and coach them up on the back end. And a lot of the thought process behind people that think maybe the Chiefs don't go with a cornerback in the first round or don't go with a cornerback on the first 2 days of this draft, despite the fact that they've lost 2 starting corners this offseason, Jalen Watson to free agency and Trent McDuffie in the trade with the Rams, is because of the faith that this organization has, and it has rightly been placed over the years in Dave Merritt and Steve Spagnuolo as well. Certainly Spags is part of this too, to coach up guys who are middle of the draft, diamond in the rough type players. Rashad Fenton, 6th rounder. L'Jarius Sneed, 3rd rounder. Day 2 and day 3 guys up and down. Charvarius Ward, Jalen Watson was a day 3 guy. Well, now I think you certainly have to consider Dave Merritt's future with the Kansas City Chiefs to be a little bit up in the air, pending the result of this arrest and these charges and this investigation. We don't know what's going to be revealed, and we'll pump the brakes on any assumption here beyond what has already been reported. But certainly, you have to consider the possibility that something has happened here that would be to the point where the Chiefs would no longer want to associate with Dave Merritt. And so does that change some of the thinking in the war room tonight for the Chiefs? I could not predict that with any level of certainty, but it would also, I think we can say, not be a surprise if that did enter the back of the mind of Brett Veach and the rest of the Chiefs front office staff, where if part of your draft philosophy is centered around somebody who is a coach on your staff, and then something happens with regard to that coach where you don't know if that coach is going to be around, you don't know if you're going to have to terminate that coach or want to terminate that coach, and that probably does change the conversation a little bit in that war room, and made me feel a little bit more strongly in my belief that the Chiefs are going to go corner earlier than 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round this year. So obviously it is not a good story. It is not anything you want anybody affiliated with your team to be associated with. And the timing of it could not be a whole lot worse. I don't know how much people are talking about this around the league or how much attention this is getting outside of Kansas City due to, as I mentioned earlier, some new developments in a story involving Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. That seems to probably have all the oxygen when it comes to off-the-field NFL revelations and news dropping today. But this is something that could impact Dave Merritt's employment, and the Chiefs have to enter the draft with the understanding that their defensive backs coach might not be their defensive backs coach. They might have to go in a different direction in that position. And does that make them less likely to wait on that position and more likely to draft a player with a little bit more polish and the ability to step into a lineup right away? So we'll see. We'll see about the effects of that. We could know more about it by tonight. We could know more about it by tomorrow. And again, don't want to predict where this goes, because this is not part of an established pattern of behavior as far as anyone is aware, as far as anything is public with regard to Dave Merritt. This is not the same as Rashee Rice being accused, where number one, Rashee Rice has a track record and has also already been suspended by the league. There was one thing to look at that and feel that it was going to go a certain way, and quite another to assume that for somebody who has earned a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt. But we'll see. It is certainly a story worth monitoring, and I think if it does affect the Chiefs' approach, I doubt they'd ever admit it, but would make me less surprised if the Chiefs go cornerback in the first round. Again, I think that they are going to. My prediction for tonight, I think it's Reuben Bain at 9, and I think that it's Colton Hood out of Tennessee at 29. And I'm not like 100% that it could be Hood, because Avion Terrell, I think, is really talented and could be more of a slot fit if the Chiefs feel like they don't have a slot fit. And Chris Johnson out of San Diego State's a late riser that I know the Chiefs have talked to. And I like Brandon Cisse a lot out of South Carolina. They go in a lot of different directions at that position, but I think cornerback's the way to go if the draft falls the way I think it's going to. We'll take a break here on 580 Sports Talk, and then we'll switch gears for a bit to local sports. It's the Local Sports Spotlight with Rick Peterson of TopSports.News. It's coming up on 580 Sports Talk. We are joined on the Fleming Place Wine and Spirits hotline by the great Rick Peterson of TopSports.News. This is the Local Sports Spotlight here on 580 Sports Talk. We do it every Thursday at this time, shining a light on Shawnee County High School sports and the Washburn Ichabods. Pistol joins us now again on the Fleming Place Wine and Spirits hotline. And Pistol, we'll start with a couple of basketball coaching hires we didn't really get a chance to touch on because we missed you last week, but wanted to ask you about at least it seems for now, the end of the coaching hiring cycle in the capital city. First, Christy Ewer-Eidecker is the new head girls basketball coach at Highland Park. It'll be her first high school basketball head coaching job, but she's had a lot of other head coaching experience and going to step in and try and get that Highland Park program back to winning ways.
Yeah, I was impressed talking with her, and like I said, she's experienced, just not at the high school level. Her daughter has played for Shawnee Heights, so she's been around the sport. And, I think the key for her is just give them some stability. They had that with Rob, but now that Rob's gone, hopefully she can step in and put her stamp on the program.
And the Topeka High girls have also found their new head coach, and it's a very familiar name and face, Pat Denny, who was formerly the head boys basketball coach at Topeka High and assisted Ron Slaymaker the last 2 years, has decided to assume the reins of what should be a very talented Trojan girls basketball team, certainly next year with the returns of two of the city's best players in Shai Rayton and Haley Carroll. And I saw the news about it, Pistol, and I would have bet anything on Pat Denny not taking that job when it became open. But I'll tell you, coach's coach is something that I've found to be true over the year. Coaches get that itch, and they just want to be on the sideline and compete and coach and teach. And it just seems like Pat Denny's got that itch to keep coaching.
Well, yes, and you're right. He told me probably at least 5 times that he wasn't doing it. He wasn't going to do it. And I'd ask him throughout the course of the season. And at the very last regular season game, he said, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. And I think Topeka High principal Dustin Dick, who is also the district athletic director, I think he got in his ear and really told him how much they needed him. And then like Pat said in the story that I did, he just started, the more he got away from the season, he realized that he was going to miss not being around for summer workouts and not being around for everything. So I think he just kind of slowly but surely changed his mind, and I'm thrilled because I've worked with Pat Denny for a long, long, long time, and he's a good coach and a good man.
Yeah, one of the nicest guys in coaching, and I don't really have anything negative to say about anybody I've worked with in my several years now covering high school sports. But I will say Pat's one of the best dudes, and just really enjoy him and having him back on the sideline in the capital city, I think is just fabulous. Rick Peterson of TopSports.News joining us here for the local sports spotlight here on 580 Sports Talk. Let's turn our attention to some of the things happening on the fields of play as we get close to the start of May and postseason already looming for many of these spring sports. You were out to cover the Topeka West Invitational in boys tennis and a strong performance out there for Washburn Rural.
Yeah, they didn't win either of the divisions, but they were strong in both divisions, and everybody placed high, which led to a team title. So their balance kind of carried them. And one of the top players for rural tennis is a name we're all very familiar with from soccer, Dylan Willingham, the single season and career goals leader for the state champs. And he's very good at tennis. He's a multi-time, he's a state medalist.
Something we missed last week, again, because we didn't get a chance to speak with you, but girls soccer season obviously well into full swing, and the Hayden girls were very close to capturing a state championship last year, and this year they look like they're even better, and they have earned wins already this season over both Bishop Miege and Washburn Rural, and both of those results, which happened, I believe, last week or in the last week and change, certainly eye-opening for Klaus Kreutzer's bunch that they've maybe even taken another step forward this season. What's been critical for Hayden soccer success?
Well, they were very good last year, as you said. I mean, they lose in double overtime to the perennial state champions. And then they go over and beat the perennial state champions, Bishop Miege, 5-0 on the road. And then they turn around and beat the 6A state champions, Washburn Rural, 2-0. So they not only beat those very, very, very good programs, but they shut them out. Answer your question. They've got great athletes, and they're all, and you and I agree on this, they're all multi-sport athletes, and we love multi-sport athletes. So you got girls on that team that were state medalists in tennis, that were part of the second place volleyball team and the state championship basketball team, and they just turn the page and, go right to the next sport. And I've always loved that.
As for Washburn Rural, they were able to bounce back earlier this week and beat Topeka High. That's a team that lost a lot from last year's state champions there in Class 6A. But you spoke with their coach, Brian Hensel, after their win on Monday, and he's pretty confident that this team is going to get better as things go.
Well, that's what they do. I mean, they they play a really tough schedule. So they're going to take some losses. Even last year they took a couple losses, but they're going to get better. But yeah, you're right. You lose players like Kate Hank and Zara Fries and players like that. It's going to take some while and take them a while. And I think they're starting to turn the corner. And like what he said when we talked was, give us 3 weeks, and I think we'll be competitive. And I would certainly bet on that.
A couple of results from the bat and ball sports from the end of last week that I wanted to get to with Rick Peterson, TopSports.News, joining us on the Fleming Place Wine and Spirits Hotline for the local sports spotlight here on 580 Sports Talk. Topeka High softball has had obviously a really great run of success. Those Nyjah Kennedy-led teams that won 6A state championships in 2021 and 2022. Well, they have kept being, you get one Nyjah Kennedy, maybe ever, in program history. But Topeka High has continued to put together success, and so far this year, they have gotten some impressive wins, including victories over a couple of the most recent 6A championship winning programs, Olathe West and Olathe Northwest. Shane Miles's group continues to impress. What is most impressive in your mind about that Trojan team?
Well, I talked to Shane. I covered Shane's team early in the year when they lost a doubleheader to Washburn Rural, and neither Washburn Rural or High were happy about having to play each other so early in the season. They would have liked to play either later. But what Shane told me after that game was, this is going to help us. This is going to show us what we have to do. Then this is to play a great team like that. It will pay off for us in the long run. Since then, they've won 10 straight games through last weekend. So he was exactly right about that. They've got good hitting. They hit a lot of home runs, and they did in that doubleheader they played last week. And then they got 2 good pitchers that split time, and maybe not Nyjah, but very good 6A pitchers, and they've just turned it around. And when I talked to Shane last week, he was thrilled with the way they're hitting the ball, with the way they're fielding the ball, and the way they're pitching the ball. And that's a pretty good combination.
In baseball, it was a Friday night game that TopSports.News' Todd Fertig was at and covering, with Washburn Rural beating Seaman 4-3 on a night maybe better suited for football, or not even being outside at all, more so than baseball. But Washburn Rural got that win. They were off to a really good start, 9-2 at last check. And look, it's a program that's used to success and has sustained success over the years. But this year in particular, what does Jay Maston's bunch have that has made them a 6A threat?
I think I would say several different weapons. I don't know that they have the one guy that you count on to, get all the big hits or pitch all the big innings or anything like that. But they got several kids that have contributed, and I think they're very well rounded. And I think that's what's got them where they are right now.
A couple more questions for Rick Peterson of TopSports.News, joining us for the local sports spotlight, as he does every Thursday at this time here on 580 Sports Talk. Hard to believe, again, we're coming up on the end of some of these regular seasons for spring sports. That doesn't just mean high school. It also means for the Washburn Ichabod, softball's only got 2 games left, and they got to wait a while for May 2nd. Washburn softball wraps up their season with a doubleheader at Emporia. But Brenda Holliday's crew has already secured a spot in the MIAA tournament. They have improved their record after a bit of a slow start to MIAA play to 33-18 overall, 10-12 in the conference. Is this a group that is going to make the most of this downtime between now and the actual end of the season in the MIAA tournament to hopefully, as they say, peak at the right time?
Yeah, we talked about that. I talked to Max Seiss, the new MIAA single season stolen base record holder, and Brenda Holliday, and we talked about whether this was a good time to have. And I think they agreed that it was. It'll give them some time to, recharge a little bit, but work on some things they need to work on. Get ready for finals. We already coming up on finals at the college level. So they thought it was good. And then, of course, they come back with games that they shouldn't have to try too hard to get up for against their rival Hornets. So they thought it was good, but they are playing better. They went through a stretch where they had doubleheaders against 4 straight nationally ranked teams. And, they struggled during that. But now they're playing much better. They won 3 out of 4 last weekend. Could have got the last one. They had the tying and winning runs in place, but Brenda was very happy about how they played and how they are playing.
Rick Peterson covers Shawnee County High School sports and the Washburn Ichabods for TopSports.News, and that is an essential daily read if you're wanting to keep up on the sports happenings in Shawnee County and the capital city. He joins us every Thursday on the Fleming Place Wine and Spirits Hotline at this time for the local sports spotlight. Pistol, always a pleasure. We'll do it again next week.
Look forward to it.
That is Rick Peterson. We'll take a timeout, come back, and wrap up this 3 o'clock hour of 580 Sports Talk after this. Our thanks again to Rick Peterson, TopSports.News, for joining us for the local sports spotlight. Always great to talk about high school sports and the Washburn Ichabods with the great Rick Peterson. We got 2 more hours coming up on the show today with you until 6 o'clock tonight. And plenty more NFL draft talk. I've given you my mock draft. I believe Reuben Bain is going to the Chiefs at 9, and I think they will take Colton Hood out of Tennessee at number 29. But what does the rest of the crew think? You're going to get to find out. Brendan and Spencer join the fray here in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll get Brendan's mock draft in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll get Spencer's mock in the 5 o'clock hour. And in between, we'll debate who has the better of the draft day selections, who comes out the best for the Chiefs. And we'll look for your input on that, of course, on our text line, 785-272-9429, 785-272-9429. You can also get with us in the live chat on our YouTube stream, 580 Sports Talk, name of the channel. Want to hear from you reacting to our mock drafts and giving us your own thoughts as to what you would like to see the Chiefs do tonight. You think you want them to stick and stay at 9-29? You want to move up? You want to move back? Who's your draft crush for the Chiefs? Who do you want to see them go get? That's what I want to hear from you. Again, the text line, 785-272-9429. And on the live chat on our Facebook page, WIBW News, and our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk. So we've got that coming up at the 4 o'clock hour. Additionally, another round of What Is Wrong With You. And yes, as storms continue to threaten this area, our broadcast area, we'll keep you weather aware as well here on 580 WIBW. But before we go to break, Hairball's coming to the Storm Unveil Event Center Friday, May 8th. The ultimate rock and roll party with spot-on rock anthems, killer lights, fire, and smoke. The party kicks off with local faves, Rock Party, Topeka's own powerhouse rock band. Get full details and buy tickets to see Hairball at 580WIBW.com. Or, alternatively, you could be caller number 2 right now to 785-272-9429, and I'll give you a pair of tickets to see Hairball Friday, May 8th at the Storm Unveil Event Center. Caller number 2, 785-272-9429. More 580 Sports Talk next. Let's get it. Hour number 2 of 580 Sports Talk on this Thursday afternoon. We're with you until 6 o'clock on the Sports Voice of Kansas, 580 WIBW, FM 104.9, online at 580WIBW.com, and in living color on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, and our Facebook page, WIBW News. And it's not the royal we this time. Actually, we get multiple people in the place to be. As Brendan Dworzinski is across the table, Spencer Dupuis is across the glass. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Happy draft day.
Happy draft day.
Happy Kevin Costner day. Happy Sandra Bullock. Every day, Sandra Bullock day. Yeah.
Is she in that movie?
Yeah.
I have tried to forget.
Isn't it Sandy Bullock?
I don't know, but I think it's very ironic that the agent of the quarterback is Diddy, and I'll just leave it at that. And the guy and the quarterback fell through the draft because of parties.
They knew something.
Yeah, they knew something.
Jennifer Garner, not
I was about to
not
say,
West
Sandy
Virginia's own Jennifer Garner.
Listen,
Yeah.
I have tried to memery hole Draft Day, which is the worst sports movie that has ever
It's
been
so
made.
bad.
The worst sports movie that is ever.
You don't believe that? Nope. I'm challenge flag. I don't think you believe that. I think you're forgetting one.
I was more capable of suspending my disbelief watching a dog play basketball in Air Bud than I was believing that somebody would trade the 6th overall pick in the draft for 3 second-round picks.
I'm throwing the flag here. I have heard you talk about the Justin Timberlake movie Trouble with the Curve.
Trouble
before.
with the Curve also stinks. Also bad.
Not as bad as Draft Day?
No, Draft Day's worse.
Wow.
Draft Day's worse. I can suspend my disbelief even in Trouble with the Curve, which gets like a very important detail wrong. We could trade our draft pick. No, you can't. You can't trade draft picks, or at least you certainly could not at the time. You could trade slot money now, international slot money. You can't trade draft picks. And that was like a pivot point of the movie. They were talking about Matthew Lillard, Shaggy Doo, is in the front office of the Braves talking about trading a draft pick. That movie sucks. But you know what? Some of the actors are at least committed to it, which is
That's
more
true.
than I can say for Draft Day. That was a paycheck for Kevin Costner, who loves himself a sports movie. It is the worst one. I cannot suspend my disbelief watching that movie. It is bad. It is just bad.
Richard Roper gave it a B. That's hilarious.
Did he really?
Wow. It's got a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now that's crazy. Cinema Score gave it a B+.
Insane. I don't know what that is, but I'm never trusting it again.
The power of the NFL's popularity, too strong for even your average Letterboxd user,
3
apparently.
second-round picks for a top 10 pick. Go to hell. Not a thing. If that ever happened, Mel Kiper would leave the stage and go look to fight somebody. He'd be so upset.
I think it would have been better if they had gone like even more ridiculous. Like try to just make it like clearly a cartoon movie with real people. Like that, like there's a little too much mix of this is impossible, but you're also like trying to kind of make it serious. Like just make the whole thing a spoof. And then I think it would have been much more entertaining. As it is, it's just kind of dumb.
Just one red paper clipping his way to, like, doesn't he get a player too in the final deal? He gets all his picks back plus a player, and he gets to draft the guy he wanted the whole time.
Vontae Mack, no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah, it stinks.
Black Panther's in that movie.
Yes, Chadwick Boseman, R.I.P. He made a better sports movie. 42 is much better than Draft Day. Anyhow, it is Draft Day in the National Football League. We're doing mock drafts. We're mocking ourselves. We're mocking the drafts here today on 580 Sports Talk. We've also got What Is Wrong With You coming up this hour. And we're going to look. We got my mock draft already in the 3 o'clock hour. Brendan, we're going to do your mock draft here. You'll walk us through your picks 1 through 32.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll do Spencer's mock draft in the 5 o'clock hour. But at the bottom of this hour, we're going to talk about who came out with the best draft for the Chiefs, which path we like best for the Chiefs. So we'll narrow our focus a little bit as far as the Chiefs draft coming up a little later on this hour. You are invited and encouraged to participate in the fun today. Hop in the text line, 785-272-9429. You can also jump in the live chat on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, leave a comment on our Facebook page, our Facebook stream, WIBW News. We'd love to hear from you. Who you think the Chiefs should be loading up to draft at number 9 and number 29 tonight. And a reminder that we'll be live on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, at 8:30 tonight, reacting to the Chiefs' first-round pick. And we'll go on when they make, or right around when they're about to make, their second first-round pick. So we'll have video reaction tonight. The 580 Sports Talk crew, 2 of the 3 of us trying not to wake up our children. The other, will Olivia be awake? Will Olivia be up late for the draft?
Yes, maybe.
Well, she's got to at least see the first Browns pick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Browns have 2 of them tonight. She'll be up till 24, right?
Maybe.
No, I understand.
Depends how number 6 goes.
No, I understand. Anyhow, so join us on the YouTube channel tonight, 580 Sports Talk. Good day to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get notified when we go live. Before we get to Brendan's mock draft, we owe you a keyword for the Win 1K a Day sweepstakes here on 580 WIBW. Giving away $1,000 today. All you have to do to register to win is text this hour's keyword.
Your money?
To 785. I'm not giving away $1,000.
Oh.
That one is definitely the royal we. Every single time. 785-272-9429. The keyword to text this hour. You have until 5 o'clock to text the word SAFE. 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 Safe.
As in, Brett Veach's job is safe unless he trades multiple picks to get into the top 5.
Safe is the keyword. Text that word, SAFE, SAFE, to 785-272-9429. You have until 5 o'clock to get that word texted and get registered for your chance to win $1,000 today from 580 WIBW. All right. I have already run down my mock draft. As a reminder, at least as far as the Chiefs are concerned, gave them Reuben Bain at number 9, Colton Hood, the cornerback out of Tennessee, at number 29. That was my mock draft. Now it is time for Brendan Dorzinski to walk us through his 2026 mock draft. It is going up on the screen now on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, our Facebook stream, WIBW News. If you would like to follow along, we've got it in the video now. Brendan, explain yourself.
All right. So for my picks, let's start at the very top. Fernando Mendoza is going number 1. We know he is going number 1. There's no question about that. I should also preface this. I have no trades in my draft.
I also had no trades. Spencer, do you have trades in yours?
I have no trades because we all use the freebie PFF.
Yeah.
So none of us were paying for PFF.
That's true.
They don't let you make. I guess I didn't notice they didn't.
Oh yeah, they put it behind the paywall this year.
Oh wow, I'm too chicken. Anyhow, when it comes to trying to predict trades, so
the most popular trades at this point are the Cowboys trying to move up in mock drafts and the Cardinals trading with either the Patriots or the Seahawks to go draft Ty Simpson. My draft hot take is the league does not like Ty Simpson. I'm just going to put that take out there.
Like Dan Orlovsky does.
The creative arts agency certainly does. I get why Jackson Dart went first round last year. I wouldn't have done it, but I get it. I don't think the NFL is going to like Ty Simpson. So I don't think we're going to have more than one quarterback. Fernando Mendoza first. Do you think Mendoza would be a top 10-ish pick no matter what? Like, this is obviously a very bad QB draft, but do you think Mendoza would be in that discussion like last year? Maybe like the Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May year. Would he be in that discussion, do you think?
Probably. Like, he doesn't have outrageous athletic traits. So he's not one of those guys like that. I feel like he's real projectable. But I think that what he is very savvy, very arm talented, tough as hell, great leader, somebody you're happy to put in the middle of your huddle. You feel like
obviously very smart.
Yes, you feel like this is a face of the franchise kind of player.
Yeah.
You feel very comfortable about Mendoza, the person.
Yes.
As for Mendoza, the player, like, I don't know. Like, he wouldn't have gone over Cam Ward last year.
Probably not.
And I'm not even sure he goes over, like, well, okay. Yeah, he probably goes over Dart.
I would absolutely take him over Dart.
Yeah. You don't have to do too much talking yourself into what Mendoza is.
Right.
Even if there's not like, it's not like an Anthony Richardson type of prospect or even a Josh Allen type of prospect where you go, oh man, if this hits, we're talking best quarterback in the league. You just think you're drafting this guy and you got your starter for the next 10 years. And there's a lot to be said for that for a franchise that hasn't had that guy for a while.
I saw Dane Brugler put it like, I think within a year or two, Mendoza's in your QB 8 to QB 12 range. And like, I think the Raiders would take QB9 in the NFL. Yes! Derek Carr was that for 1 year.
And
you might get this guy.
And he almost won MVP.
Right. Like, I think that's a win. I would have put him behind May and Williams and probably Daniels, even though I didn't love Daniels.
Yes, he would have been QB4 in that draft. Like, definitely over Penix and Nix.
Exactly.
Yes.
I would have put him over Penix, and I would have put him below JJ. Now, McCarthy obviously stinks, but I would have put him below him in that draft. But, like, that's what I think of him. Good prospect. Not great, but good. I've got Arvell Reese going second. I just think the Jets are going to fall in love with the upside a little bit too much. The rest of my top five, I'm going with the tackle to Arizona. There's so much smoke around them. I think they're going to play it safe, worry about quarterback next year in what projects to be a much better quarterback draft. So they go tackle Francis Mauigoa from Miami. Sonny Styles, fourth to Tennessee. Their head coach is Robert Saleh.
Yes, he is.
Robert Saleh loves to draft guys on his side of the ball. That is the defense. Who is the best player he has ever coached? Fred Warner. I'm not saying Sonny Styles is Fred Warner. Fred Warner's a Hall of Famer. But Sonny Styles is the closest thing you're going to get to that in this draft. He's a really good player. I've got him fourth to Tennessee. I say Jeremiah Love fifth to New York. Because now with 2 picks in the top 10, New York kind of opens itself up to, we can just take a great player. We don't have to worry about need. Let's take a great player, a couple great players. So that's my top 5. Rest of the top 10, I've got Carnell Tate, the wide receiver from Ohio State, going to Cleveland. They need good PR with their fans. You know how to do that? Draft an Ohio State wide receiver. And I think he's the best one in the class. I've got David Bailey sliding to 7. I do like that for your team in Washington, Spencer. They need a pass rusher.
Interesting. They have a lot of pass rushers on their team. And I don't think that is necessarily a position of need.
Are any of them good?
I mean, it would be an upgrade, but I think there's a lot more positions they could upgrade with 7.
Is David Bailey better than Dorrance Armstrong?
I don't think Dorrance Armstrong's on the team anymore.
He definitely has like multiple years left on his contract. He got like a 3-year contract, didn't he? He's definitely on that roster. Nonetheless, I think their edges stink. So I'm going David Bailey there. Well, you look that up. 8, I've got Mekhi Lemon, another wide receiver going to New Orleans. They need pass catchers for Kellen Moore's team. I've got the Chiefs with Ruben Bain as well. 1, it's been very fun to, every time I do a mock, go, Bain, like in Dark Knight Rises. But also, it makes too much sense. They have to get that guy. Andy Reid, for his rosters, is not scared of edges with short arms. We know they want beef. Bain's got that. He's the better of the 2 Miami pass rushers in this draft. So I like Ruben Bain at 9. They need it. He's a good fit. It just makes too much sense.
I think he's been their guy to the point where I don't know if you saw, we talked about this in the first hour. Matt Derrick, our Chiefs insider on the program, suggested the Chiefs might want to move up to 6 because 7 and 8 are kind of the danger zone where Bain could go.
Sure.
Or the receiver they really like could go in 7 or 8 if there's a receiver they really like. 6 is the spot they can jump up to, and if Cleveland wants a tackle, they'll be able to get whoever they want at 9.
Yep.
And the Chiefs can make sure, moving up 3 spots, that if Bain is their guy, they don't have to sweat Washington and New Orleans. Or if a receiver is their guy, they don't have to sweat it. They can just go up and get their guy. But I think Bain is Ruben Bain no matter what.
The need is so big and the fit is so good, but it really did kill me that I did not give the Chiefs Caleb Downs. Some news today, a little concerning about the Chiefs secondary and Dave Merritt, but Spags with a piece like that is just so tempting, but the fit is too good with Bain. So I've got Caleb Downs then going 10th to New York. Best, I think he's a top 3 player in the draft. And New York then gets maybe 2 of the top 3 overall players. Not a huge need with Love, maybe not their biggest need with Downs, but they get 2 really talented players. After that, rest of the first half of the draft, I've got a lot of Chiefs targets here in these next few picks. Mansour Delane, the cornerback from LSU to Miami. Spoiler, I've got Miami taking 2 corners because they need them badly. Go look at their depth chart and then tell me that that's crazy because it certainly is not. Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver from Arizona State, who I also really like. He's just injured all the time, to Dallas. Monroe Freeling, the tackle from Georgia. Little bit of a projection. He is enormous, smart guy, real good interview from everything I've read. The Rams need a tackle.
This is where I have Freeling going as well.
Yeah, I like that fit a lot, especially for that offense. Ione, the guard from Penn State to the Ravens. I think that's the only pick made more often than Ruben Bain to the Chiefs or Mendoza to the Raiders. My Vikings pick also in that category. 15th, I've got Kenyon Sadiq. I've got him going to Tampa, frankly, because I don't think Tampa is going to pick there. I think they're going to trade back if they can. Nothing fits them. Like, I don't like any of the potential fits for the Bucs.
Kind of an awkward spot for them. I gave them Akeem Mesidor, but like I don't love him that high either.
And I went with Omar Cooper Jr. at wide receiver for the Jets at 16 with their second pick. I like Concepcion better than Cooper as a prospect, but I think Cooper's probably a little bit safer because Concepcion has the drop issues. So I like Cooper there. Little Debo-ish. He's a good player. Good player. Don't love him, but he's good. Any major complaints in the first half? Major disagreements?
No big complaints. I had wide receiver for the Jets as well, but Lemon was on the board, so I had them taking him.
Fair.
I had Styles dropping to 12 and Dallas because I just think
it's a good fit for them.
It is. And linebacker, just to me, like positional value. I just don't see a linebacker going to the top 5. I had a hard time seeing that. Anyway, continue with number 17 in Detroit.
Tackle to Utah, Spencer Fano, who that's my big faller in this draft, is I don't really know how I got Spencer Fano to the second half of the first round, but have him to the Lions. They really need offensive line help. I think that makes sense. The other obvious pick everyone has done in every mock draft, Dylan Tiedemann, the safety from Oregon, to the Vikings. White safety to replace their retiring white safety. It just everybody is making that pick. 19th, I've got Concepcion from Texas A&M, formerly of NC State. One-time K-State portal target, Casey Concepcion.
Yeah, that's right.
Give Bryce Young another weapon. And I kind of love their wide receiver room if they had a player like that. 20th, I've got Akeem Mesidor going to the Cowboys. They need a pass rusher as well. I would not use a first-round pick on Akeem Mesidor. I would not do it. He's 25 years old, and he was the second best pass rusher on his own team. I would not use a first-round pick on that player. It sounds like somebody will. It'd be very funny if it was the Cowboys. Blake Miller at 21 to the Steelers. I know you had that same pick, Dan.
Yep.
I heard Todd McShay say that Blake Miller was one of his favorite players in the whole draft. Played a ton of college football. Apparently a really sharp dude. Seems like a good fit for Pittsburgh. Keep Rodgers upright. I assume he'll be their quarterback. I've got Kedrick Falk, the edge rusher, kind of tweener combo guy from Auburn. To 22 in the Chargers. They need a little more talent up front. I don't like tweeners. I would not draft him, but he's obviously very talented. Very young, too. I think he's only 21. Despite being a senior. TJ Parker, the edge from Clemson, going to the Eagles. I didn't love that fit. 24th, I've got the Browns going Caden Proctor. This is another player I would not draft, just to be blunt with you.
Interesting.
Nick Saban essentially said, we really like him. He's a great athlete when he's around 350 pounds. The problem is keeping him at 350 pounds. I heard on a podcast that he played part of this past season for Alabama closer to 390. That player is a meme and not a starting tackle in the league. Like, that just doesn't work. There aren't many Gilbert Browns, and most of them, like Gilbert, play defense. So I'd be worried, but the Browns need a tackle. I got Caden McDonald to the Bears at 25. He's the only defensive interior guy I've got because it's a terrible class for those guys. Really, really bad class. Speaking of, though, Peter Woods, who's kind of probably like a 3-4 end. I'm not sure exactly what he'll play in the league. I've got him to Buffalo. They just need bodies up front. They just don't have enough on the defensive line. San Francisco, best player available, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, safety out of Toledo. A lot of draft guys really like him. I know Daniel Jeremiah from NFL Network really, really likes him. Texans, what do they need? Offensive line, interior line. We've been saying that since the Texans became a franchise in 2002. Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon there, maybe a little rich, but they have a big need. Second Chiefs pick, Denzel Boston, wide receiver from Washington. I love this type of receiver. You may remember from the infamous I love N'Keal Harry. He's my wide receiver one year.
I do remember
that didn't work so well. I think Denzel Boston's a better player than that. I think he's got good hands. He's a good route runner. It's something the Chiefs haven't had since Dwayne Bowe.
6'4".
He's big. He can box out. Imagine Patrick Mahomes being able to throw a jump ball and knowing his guy will catch it. He has never had that.
No, he's never had
Literally
that.
never. So that's more what I dream of. I kind of don't think it'll happen, but I would love to see it. Final few picks. As I said, double dip for the Dolphins at corner. Avion Terrell from Clemson, the brother of A.J. Terrell for the Falcons. Max Ianachor, the tackle from Arizona State. I've got to the Patriots. They desperately need some tackle help. Also, he's only played football for 5 years. He started in JUCO, and he's good enough to be in the NFL. That dude's a sicko. And so is his head coach in this potential mock draft. Finally, I've got the Seahawks sticking and picking at 32. Chris Johnson from San Diego State. That, to me, is a run-to-the-podium pick for the Seahawks. I really, really, really like him.
I had them going with Jadarian Price, the running back out of Notre Dame, but
that's so John Schneider.
It is. John Schneider
you know better than anyone.
Loves a first-round running back, but I do think Johnson...
At 32.
Yeah, Johnson makes a lot of sense, too, just given their need at corner. They need a starter. What is honestly going to happen, though, Seattle's trading back.
Okay, so let me ask the two of you here while I'm in the studio with you this hour. What is to you just like keep this to a couple words, but like most likely, best case, worst case for your team.
For my team.
Yeah,
I
for
think
the Seahawks.
most
Because
likely
we'll get to the Chiefs later.
Yeah, most likely Seahawks trade back. That is most likely, and they make their first pick tomorrow, and they pick up a couple more mid-round picks as they go. They might even keep trading back. Like they might trade back 2 spots.
They should, honestly.
They trade 2 or 3 spots back with the Jets or Cardinals, so one of them can get the 5th-year option on Ty Simpson if they really like him, and then keep one red paper clipping it back a little bit. I've used that analogy twice now. It
is a good one.
It's a washed reference, but it's still, I'm washed too. Best case scenario, I think, is them trading back, honestly. Sure. And then worst case scenario is that they add one of these edges that I'm not really in love with, like a TJ Parker or Mason Thomas. Like that doesn't really. Yeah. Nah, none of that does it for me.
Real quick.
Kind of back to what I said. Best case, I think the Commanders need defensive back help.
Okay.
And
I can see that.
That's why I disagreed with your pick, because they're now shifting to a 3-4.
Okay.
So they're going to have edge guys.
So Bailey would have to be a stand-up guy. Okay.
Well, they just picked up off a Doa or whatever, a Defe Owe and Kavlon Chason, and they got Kinlaw.
Oh, I forgot they had Chase on. So, I forgot that. My bad.
To me, that's why I don't see them going edge, because they just spent a bunch of money.
That's fair.
And I think they need help with defensive back. They haven't had a great defensive back coming out of the first round in a long time.
What would be your disaster scenario?
I don't necessarily know if it's disaster. They would be missing out on a top 10 pick, would be them trading back and getting, in a way, more picks, because they don't have a second rounder.
Sure.
So either stick and pick a defensive back, or to me, they go and they get more picks.
My team doesn't have a pick. Our pick was Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
No complaints from me.
That's fine. Between you and I, you have Concepcion in the first round. I don't. You have Pregnon in the first round. I don't. You have Chris Johnson in the first round. I don't. Other than that, we have 29 of the same 32 players in the first.
Who are your 3 that
round.
I don't have? If you have yours in front of you.
I am going to get mine in front of me so that I can tell you that the 3 players I have in the first round that you don't have are Jadarian Price, Colton Hood, and Jermon McCoy.
I like Hood. I like Hood a lot. I very easily could have put him at 32 to the Seahawks, or to 30 for Miami. McCoy, I really like. PFF kept making me try to put him on a team. He's apparently got some real scary medicals, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I knocked him out. And some teams just don't care. Like the Cowboys just don't care about anything. and I'm not trying to pick on them. Like character concerns do not matter to them. Medicals don't matter because they've got a good medical team.
Yeah.
Some teams get terrified of that stuff because their guys get hurt all the time. So I could see it with both of those corners. And yeah, Price is a very Seahawks pick.
Extremely.
That's crazy. The top 2 running backs both went to the same school.
We'll talk more about how we see the Chiefs draft, the Chiefs portion of the draft unfolding here in a little bit on this hour of 580 Sports Talk. When we come back after this time out, it's time for What Is Wrong With You? 2 new stories to compete after this on 580 Sports Talk. It's time for What Is Wrong With You on 580 Sports Talk. We've got two brand new stories competing today. Take down our current weekly champion, the Lego Roni story. The gentleman who stole $34,000 worth of Lego pieces and replaced them in the boxes that he legally purchased and returned to Target stores across multiple states with dried pasta. You shake the box. It sounds the same. It's actually kind of ingenious if you really think about it. Some of these are like a step shy of being like master criminal activities sometimes on What Is Wrong With You. Like the bear suit guys, who, by the way, you shall see there was an update on the bear suit guys. 3 of them got sentenced to like 18 months in prison.
You're talking about the one that had the claw?
Yes,
and
our champions from last year, Operation Bear Claw.
Wow.
So, yeah.
There is justice in the world.
There truly is. All right, we got two stories today. Spencer, I'm going to let you go first. What you got?
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry story here. Responding Sunday evening to a report of a disturbance at a Jensen Beach, Florida home, police were met at the front door by a resident who was later identified as Lisa Nagel, 42. The woman, cops say, proceeded to slam the door in a deputy's face. The officer subsequently placed her in handcuffs and continued an investigation, according to the arrest report. It should be noted that Lisa removed one of the handcuffs during this time. When the cops asked the detained woman for her name, she responded with Donald Duck. She was arrested for resisting arrest without violence and providing a false name, both misdemeanors. She apparently works as a tattoo artist and was booked in a county jail, from which she was released on $1,000 bond. She's slated to be back for arraignment on May 14th.
Yeah, don't be a smart aleck to the cops. They don't like when you do that. They don't like when you give them an obvious fake name. They don't like that.
Not at all.
Because then you've got to do more paperwork, and don't give a police officer more paperwork than they already got to do. They already hate that stuff. Don't give them more paperwork.
Same, honestly.
Yeah, I also don't love paperwork. It's very relatable. But yeah, don't give them extra paperwork telling your name is Donald Duck, trying to take off your handcuffs. Come on. For my story today, we meet Atlanta podcaster Jonathan Dupiton, who hosts the Rich and Unemployed podcast.
What?
Yes, it's the name of his podcast. Well, he's been sentenced to 7 years in federal prison after being convicted of fraud, using stolen identities to obtain millions of dollars in unemployment insurance benefits. The 36-year-old pled guilty on January 13th to conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Naturally had to do with in 2020, Dupiton was completing a federal sentence at a halfway house for a previous fraud conviction when the crimes occurred. He organized a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme that targeted California's unemployment insurance benefit program that began in July 2020 and continued through early 2021. The program provided temporary financial assistance to lawful workers who were unemployed due to the pandemic. As part of the scheme, he obtained stolen identities of hundreds of unwitting individuals and filed unemployment claims in the state of California using a VPN to mask his actual online location. After the claims were approved, he and his co-conspirators would route the benefits debit cards to a North Georgia mailing address, including his own address. He would then withdraw the money from ATMs. Prosecutors say he duped the federal government out of $3.8 million, of which he was able to withdraw about $2 million. Here is the punchline. On the Rich and Unemployed podcast, one of the themes for Mr. Dupiton is that his motto is, fraud is dope. Now, fraud is a backronym here. Fraud standing for finally rich after unstoppable determination. And look, I think it does take a certain amount of unstoppable determination to commit nearly $4 million in wire fraud. I do think that there is a level of determination, a level of grind that I can't match that it takes.
The true meaning of determination, though.
So what is he telling people on the Rich and Unemployed podcast? He's sitting there flossing with his $2 million of ill-begotten unemployment insurance. I'm sure he's got nice car. I'm sure he's got some nice toys, nice watch, nice chain, things along those lines. And what is he telling people? This can be you too if you're unemployed. How? Fraud. Fraud, baby. Fraud.
I mean, he really wasn't lying.
No, he didn't.
Backronym or not, he did believe that.
Yes, he did, in fact, believe that fraud was dope. Unfortunately, he is a dope, and he's going to be in prison for 7 years. Finally rich after unstoppable determination. That is so funny to me.
Wow.
That sounds like something DJ Khaled would, like, name an album.
Yeah, I got to give this one the win. Respect to Donald Duck Woman,
Yeah.
but I got to give it to this one.
Fraud is dope or the Lego Roni story? Who wins? It's
when you talk
closer
about
than I thought.
Yeah, that's pretty close when you talk about the title. I'm going with the Lego story, though, man. Like, it's one of the things where, like, I would never think of that. You could have given me 1,000 lifetimes, and I never would have thought to do that. Like, would I have thought to commit fraud? I would have thought of it, sure. I would never have thought I'm going to take the pricey Legos and replace them with Rotini and reseal the box. Never would have thought of it. So I'm going to say that one continues.
It has to be like the round or the elbow pasta. You can't really get the same effect if the piece is too big, like the piece of penne.
Penne, yeah.
Not with broken spaghetti. It would have had to have been like the wheels or the elbows.
The wagon wheel.
The wagon wheel pasta.
Man, I don't think I've had one of those in like 20 years.
Do they have a real name or is it just wagon wheel pasta? No, that is Rotel. That is what that's called. Rotel. Naturally.
The same name as the cheese and salsa dip?
With 2 extra letters at the end, an extra L and an E. Maybe it's Rotelli. I don't know. I don't speak Italian.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
It's
Rotel.
It probably something like that. I don't think farfal, the butterfly, the bow tie pasta is probably the move.
I like the bow ties.
I kind of do like the bow tie too.
That's up there for me. Shells, number 1, by the way.
Shells, number 1?
Shells, bow ties.
Stuffed shells are amazing.
Stuffed shells. Oh, brother, you're talking my language. That's my top 2. And I don't need 3.
It's a lot of dairy in the stuffed shells, the manicotti,
Ricotta,
things like that. It's a little too much dairy for your boy.
You lactose intolerant?
No, probably.
Yeah. Some humans by nature are. Do you know it's a mutation to not be?
I didn't.
It's a common mutation, but it is. Yeah. Learn something new every day here on 580 Sports Talk.
That's going to continue as
the
our
only
winner.
science fact I know.
The Lego Roni. That's our continued winner on What Is Wrong With You. When we come back, which of the 3 of us has the best mock draft from the Chiefs' perspective? We'll debate it next here on 580 WIBW. .441 on 580 Sports Talk. Guys, I got to be honest. I really think this Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini story is going to steal all the thunder from this NFL draft. It was already not a draft with a lot of sizzle.
None. No sizzle.
You know who had some sizzle? Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
I can't. Every
Yes.
6 hours, someone digs up a new tweet where she's like, wow, I was having a conversation with a source earlier about how hot Mike Vrabel is. What? How are there so many?
We've got new pictures. I feel like going to, like, being the guy leaning in the meme, leaning into George Bush. Sir, another photo of Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini has hit the internet.
I can't believe it. Every time I log into Twitter or Blue Sky, MySpace, Zanga, there's something new.
For 6 years. And
I
they were
think
doing
years.
out
At
in
least
front of
6 years.
everybody.
At least 6
At
years.
least 6, that's right.
Yeah, like, because that's the other part of it, too. It has to be at least 6 years, because the pictures that came out this morning from page 6, March 11th, 2020. Y'all remember what happened that day? Tom Hanks and Rudy Gobert got the Roni. And the whole world went into lockdown. March 11th of 2020, we are at peak, like, kind of terrified of this new COVID-19 thing. You are not putting your mouth on a stranger's mouth on March 11th, 2020. That is the last thing you were doing.
Well, he wasn't a stranger.
Right. That is exactly
Yes.
what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. Precisely where I'm going with this.
I just can't believe her first son's name is Michael.
Yeah.
Who was born in 2021 and that picture is from 2020?
No.
It's insane.
Naming a child after your affair partner is the nastiest, filthiest work possible.
Look, there is a degree, like, when you're a public figure, you open yourself up to this when you do something heinous.
Yeah.
There is a part of me that, like, doesn't want to get, like, overly into the private lives of people I don't know. That kind of being said here, why would you marry someone you clearly hate? Like, this woman hates her husband. And look, I'm not trying to say Mike Vrabel did nothing wrong here, because he is a dirtbag, clearly. But, like, every day, here is a tweet from 2021 in which she says her husband is ugly and she hates him. Here, 12 minutes later, is where she tweeted about the hunky coach of the Tennessee Titans. It's just a constant barrage of it.
Do you know what's hilarious? Somebody dug
All
up
of this.
everything
about it.
Somebody dug up the ESPN PR tweet that they signed her to a contract extension from September 10th of 2021, and it's her sitting on top of seats at the corner of a stadium where you can see down on the field. You know who's standing down on the field?
Mike Vrabel?
Yes.
It's crazy, dude. It's just insane.
Unbelievable story.
And you know what? Just say, like, yeah, shouldn't have done it. Because now it's only gotten worse. She's still denying this stuff. Dog.
Yeah, man. And Mike and the Patriots talking about Mike Vrabel, like, oh yes, we respect that he has to step away to handle this situation that he is in. Like, brother, he ran around on his wife.
And here's the crazy thing too, because you're right. Like, this is gonna steal so many of the headlines. And I can understand if you listening to us or you're watching ESPN or whatever. It's like, God, I'm sick of this tabloid stuff. This is the head coach of the team that just played for the Super Bowl. And he, entirely of his own and his affair partners doing, have become the biggest story here.
Yes.
Like, not
They
what
are-
you want.
Yes, they are a story on this NFL draft day, and that is, less than ideal.
It's also becoming apparent that they didn't give one iota.
Yeah, this stuff is all in public.
Because, like, I've never cheated, never planning on cheating, but I
Good.
think if you cheat with somebody, you do it, like, in private.
just out in the open.
Especially if you're if you both are well-known people.
Yes, you're on television. You played a lot of years in the NFL, and now are a coach. People know what you look like. Unbelievable. All right.
Something's going to happen before the show's over.
Andrew points out that Diana Rossini wasn't married until September of 2020. There's a little thing called an engagement, Andrew. They were engaged.
Yeah.
Can't run around on your fiance. That doesn't make it better.
I just think it's crazy too. There were all the rumors back then
Yes.
about her and one
Acting inappropriately with other coaches.
and one Sean McVay.
Yes, coaches and general managers.
Yeah. So she had to go get married to stop the allegations from coming out, which stopped for approximately less than 6 years.
There's that old tweet. Ew, she's having sex with the weed man for weed. Says the person who's having sex with the text man for text. Diana Rosini was having sex with the scoops man for scoops.
Mike Vrabel played for the Chiefs.
Yes, he did.
Everything is local.
The Chiefs are going to have, at least they are scheduled to have, 2 new players on their roster by night's end. They have the number 9 pick. They have the number 29 pick. In my mock draft, which I unveiled in the 3 o'clock hour, I have the Chiefs selecting Reuben Bain at number 9 and Colton Hood, the corner from Tennessee, at number 29. Brendan's mock draft, which he unveiled earlier this hour, has the Chiefs going with Bain at 9 and Denzel Boston, the wide receiver out of Washington, at number 29. We will get Spencer's mock draft in full in the 5 o'clock hour, but a little spoiler alert. Spencer has the Chiefs going with Mansour Delane, the corner out of LSU, at number 9, and Denzel Boston at number 29. So we have a lone wolf situation on both of these picks. Let's start at number 9. Brendan and I both going with Bain. Spencer, you're the lone wolf with Mansour Delane at number 9. Now, one thing to note here, Reuben Bain is not on the board at number 9 in your mock draft. You have him going 1 pick earlier. But why Delane? Make the case for Delane as the Chiefs' number 9 overall pick.
All right. Well, you've seen my mock draft. So
I'm looking at it right now.
To me, I think it was at that point, once they realized that Reuben Bain wasn't there, it was between a corner and a wide receiver.
And for the record, not to spoil too much more of this, but all of the wide receivers are still on the board in your mock at number 9.
Yes.
Every one of them. Tate, Lemon, Tyson, all of them.
But in light of your cornerback coach, who has developed a lot of cornerbacks in your system, being arrested today and not knowing what's going to happen, I think getting a first-round cornerback with a 5th-year option on the table there is big, and I think Mansour Delane is the best corner in this draft, and I think the Chiefs go with that because they're lacking a number 1 corner in trueness, and I think their number 1 corner for the next 4 to 5 years is going to be Mansour Delane.
Delane is far and away the best cornerback in this draft. So I think it is entirely defensible for the Chiefs to say this is a position of need and we can get the unquestioned best player in the draft at our pick. My argument, though, is that it is higher. The positional value, I think, at wide receiver and edge is higher. And if Bain is off the board, I think it's a lot more defensible. If Bain's still on the board, I think edge is the position the Chiefs have to go. If Bain's not on the board, I would still lean wide receiver over corner in that scenario. That would be my personal thought, is that I'd rather get the top 10 wide receiver, especially if I can get whoever I want at that position at number 9 in your scenario, Spencer, than go and get the corner. But I think it's entirely defensible to say Delane should be the guy. He's the best player at a position of need, gives them a starter. You feel, and then you have then you have 4 guys who you would feel comfortable starting at some point.
Yeah.
I'm the lone wolf on number 29. You guys both have Denzel Boston. I have Colton Hood. My argument for Hood is I like the value of the corners late in the first round. And I think that Hood fits the mold of a Chiefs cornerback, big, physical, supports the run. I think he's a Steve Spagnuolo kind of cornerback in a way that I'm not entirely sure Avion Terrell is, even though I like Terrell. I might even like Terrell better than I like Colton Hood. But I like the fit for Hood maybe a little bit better, just based on what we know about him and the kind of player that he is. And in my mock draft, there's not that run on wide receivers happening. So I think the Chiefs can survey the board on my mock draft and feel like, okay, well, outside of Lemon, Tyson, and Tate, all the wide receivers are still on the board. We got a chance to either wait at 40 or go up to early in the second round and go get the wide receiver we really want. Go get, if it's Denzel Boston, if it's Chris Brazzell, if it's Jeremy Bernard, if it's KC Concepcion, to move up and get that guy. If there's not that run on wide receivers, I think cornerback is where the value is for the Chiefs.
I think that's entirely fair. And I like Hood. I really do think he is a good player. I mentioned earlier, the reason I went with Boston there is because that's the dream for me. I want to see Patrick Mahomes throwing to a body like that really, really badly. The three needs are so glaring and obvious that I don't think I would have a problem with any of them on that first day. The way my board shook out, with Bain going there early, and again, I think that fit makes a lot of sense. There just weren't any round one caliber wide receivers left. Like, I didn't want to go with like Chris Brazzell from Tennessee, DeJon Stribling from Ole Miss. Like, I do not think of those guys as late round one kinds of players. So for me, that's why it worked out to take Boston, because like you're not getting another one of those guys. But I do think it would make a lot of sense to take a corner. You need bodies, you need numbers at that point. I also, for what it's worth, would not hate trading out of 29.
I think it depends on how the draft is proceeding. If you're starting to sense that run on wide receivers or corners is coming and you've got a guy you really want, then yes, I think you move up from 29. But also, I think if there isn't a run and you've got a bunch of like offensive line, you've got some, like Woods and maybe Caleb Banks go off the board, and there's a run on interior defensive linemen, and you feel like you can sit and wait on either of those positions, yeah, I wouldn't mind moving back. Yeah, see if that's where the Jets want to move up or the Cardinals want to move up. If they really want Ty Simpson or Carson Beck.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, and I set my mock draft like this because in my head, I think the Chiefs really need a shutdown corner, and I think the Chiefs need another wide receiver, and hopefully a wide receiver that can keep himself on the straight and narrow. Because it seems like
that would be valuable.
It'd be very valuable.
We'll take a timeout, come back, wrap up this 4 o'clock hour, 580 Sports Talk. All right, real quick, either or over under, gentlemen. I'm going to set the number at 4.5 trades in the first round tonight. Over under.
I am going to go under because I think you can easily go over that number with teams wanting to move back. I don't think there's enough teams who want to move up.
Yeah, that's the question. It takes 2 to tango, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. It does take 2 to tango, and that's my reason.
Who else has an either or over under?
All right, let's do the easy one. Over under 1.5 quarterbacks tonight.
I'm going to go. Oh, man. People still really do seem to try to convince you that Ty Simpson's a thing. And if you want a quarter, and like the Jets and the Cardinals are both quarterback desperate.
Mm-hmm.
Like if either of them like Simpson, then they should try and get up. It would only cost them a couple spots. They should try to get up into that latter part of the first round and get the 5th-year option. So I will go over. I think somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to do it for Simpson. I just don't know who.
I guess it'd be over under how many picks does a top 3 guy, like everybody thinks that Bailey, Reese, and Styles are going to go top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of them, I guess it'd be either or, does any of them drop below the top 5?
I have Styles 12 in my mock. I think linebacker positional value is going to dictate that he drops.
Who are the 3 again, Spencer?
Bailey, Reese, and Styles.
Yeah, I had Bailey going 7. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked at all if he went 3 to the Cardinals. I mean, I like Bailey. I think he's a good player. But yeah, I'll say over. I think someone falls.
We will wrap up this 4 o'clock hour here on 580 Sports Talk. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, we will have Spencer's mock draft and some final thoughts as we get ready for the first round of the 2026 NFL Draft from Pittsburgh tonight. Also, of course, have our 580 Sports Talk headlines, including a playoff roundup. Going to be a stressful night for your boy tonight. That's coming up on the final hour of today's episode of 580 Sports Talk. Well, let's get it. Third and final hour of 580 Sports Talk on a Thursday. Thanks so much for being with us. Dan Lucero and Spencer Dupuis with you the rest of the way until 6 o'clock tonight here on the Sports Voice of Kansas, 580 WIBW, FM 104.9, online at 580WIBW.com, and on our video streaming options, our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, and our Facebook page, WIBW News. Great to be with you on this draft day. We got one more hour of content for you. We got our headlines, and then we're going to get more into the draft. Spencer Dupuis batting in the 3 spot for us as far as mock drafts unveilings on the show today. If you missed my mock draft, that came in hour number 1. If you missed Brendan Dworzynski's mock draft, that came at the top of hour number 2. Those hours are both up on our podcast page, 580WIBW.com. You can also watch the video archive on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, or if you just open today's video and want to rewind a little bit, you are more than welcome to do that. So that'll get you caught up. And then Spencer's going to have his mock draft, and we'll have some final thoughts as we look ahead to the first round of the NFL draft tonight. Broadcast starts at 7 o'clock. Goodness knows when they're actually going to put the Raiders on the clock. 8 minutes between picks this year. We'll see if that's a true 8 minutes or how long it takes for the whole shebang-a-bang to actually unfold. We will tell you that at 8:30 tonight, we'll be live on our YouTube channel. By we, I mean the whole gang. Myself, Dan Lucero, Spencer Dupuis, and Brendan Dworzynski. We will be on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk. And we will be reacting live to what we anticipate is the first of the Kansas City Chiefs first-round draft picks tonight, scheduled at number 9 overall. So we'll go live at 8:30 on our YouTube channel. We'll react to what's already happened, react to the Chiefs pick as it happens, presuming that that's when it happens, and hang around for a few more minutes. We'll take your questions. So we hope you'll join us in the live chat on our YouTube stream, and we'll have a good time tonight on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk. So we hope you'll join us. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel so you know when we go live, both tonight for the first of the 2 first-round picks, and then we'll go live again to react to the second first-round pick as well. Chiefs, again, hold the number 29 pick. So we'll go live a little later on in the evening to react to that one. And to know when we will go, subscribe to the YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk. Also follow us on our social media channels, 580 Sports Talk on X, 580 Sports Talk on Blue Sky, and we'll let you know when we go live on YouTube tonight. We owe you a last keyword of the day for our Win 1K a Day sweepstakes here on 580 WIBW. Your chance to win $1,000 is a text away. You get entered to win $1,000 today by texting the following keyword to 785-272-9429. The keyword for this hour is sure. S-U-R-E. Sure. As in, there are no sure things in this 2026 NFL draft, it feels like. Sure. S-U-R-E. Sure. S-U-R-E. Text sure to 785-272-9429, and that'll get you registered for your chance to win $1,000 today. The Win 1K a Day sweepstakes going on at 580 WIBW. We'll also keep you weather aware this hour. You may have heard it right before we went back live to start this hour. There is, in effect, a severe thunderstorm warning for Geary County, southeastern Riley County, and northwestern Wabunsee County, including Junction City, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, Voland, and I-70 between mile markers 292 and 321. That severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 5:45. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Geary County, including Junction City and mile markers 294 and 295 on I-70. That is in effect for about 5 minutes longer. So we'll continue to keep an eye on storms in our listening area, and we will keep you weather aware tonight here on 580 WIBW. All right, let's get to some headlines. Do we want to start with the good Chiefs news today, or do we want to start with the bad Chiefs news today?
Let's start with the good. I want to hear good news first.
Let's do the good Chiefs news today. Derek Johnson will be the 55th individual inducted into the Chiefs Hall of Fame. The club announced that earlier today. Derek Johnson spent 13 of his 14 seasons in Kansas City and appeared in 182 games, which is the most of any linebacker in club history. Chiefs made 6 playoff appearances in his tenure. He won the team's Mac Lee Hill Award in 2005, which is given to the team's Rookie of the Year as voted on by players and coaches. He made 4 Pro Bowl appearances, 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2015, and was a 2-time AP All-Pro in 2011 and 2015. He accumulated 1,146 total tackles as a member of the Chiefs. That is the most in franchise history. He's the only player in franchise history with more than 1,000 tackles in a Chiefs uniform. Derek Johnson, all-time great Chief, and an induction into the Chiefs Hall of Fame confirms it. He'll be honored at a Chiefs home game during the 2026 season. The 55th member of the Chiefs Hall of Fame, Derek Johnson. Salute to him. That unfortunately means, Spencer, that you have to read the bad news. And we touched on this in the 3 o'clock hour, so this is a reset, but this is potentially a big deal for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Defensive backs coach Dave Merritt Sr. has been arrested and charged with misdemeanor domestic battery, according to court documents. Shortly after 9:30 this morning, the Johnson County District Attorney's Office filed a complaint against David Lee Merritt Sr., 54, of Stillwell, accusing him of, quote, unlawfully, knowingly, or recklessly causing bodily harm to a daughter, which constitutes domestic violence offense, according to court documents. He made an appearance in court this afternoon. An Overland Park police officer arrested Merritt at about 8:50 p.m. last night. He was booked into Johnson County Jail about 10:25. From what I've read, he asked for a public defender.
Okay.
So that's interesting. You would think somebody would have a lawyer.
Well, not necessarily. I don't have a lawyer.
I mean, an NFL assistant coach could get one and not have to hire a public defender.
Well, nothing wrong with a public defender.
No.
The news obviously not good and kind of comes out of left field because by all accounts, Dave Merritt is a well-liked, well-respected member of the Chiefs coaching staff, has been since he has been a part of the Chiefs staff the last 7 seasons as the defensive backs coach for the Chiefs. Chiefs issued a no comment as their statement, just confirming that they were aware of the arrest and that they would have no comment beyond that. So obviously very discouraging to hear that. And again, the follow-through on this, what comes of this could certainly impact Dave Merritt's employment with the Chiefs. And if he were to not be employed by the Chiefs, that would be a substantial loss to the coaching staff. Much of the credit that has been given over the years to player development for the Chiefs has really stemmed from the work that Merritt has done with the defensive backs. And Steve Spagnuolo, also that's his background too. So Spags and Merritt working in concert to develop some of this stellar defensive back, corner, and safety play that the Chiefs have had over the years. But certainly you would call Dave Merritt's future with the Chiefs staff into question, given whatever could come of today's news. Very unfortunate to hear that. And yet another distraction on draft day surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's get to this next headline from the NCAA. President Charlie Baker, that's NCAA president, not president. You didn't miss any big news today. NCAA President Charlie Baker is pushing a sweeping eligibility overhaul with his new 5-in-5 proposal. It's a very simple proposal. You have 5 years of college eligibility to play 5 seasons, eliminating the current restriction in Division I of playing 4 seasons within a 5-year span that features numerous waivers and red shirts, reading the reporting of Brian Fisher from Sports Illustrated. Under this concept, athletes both domestically and internationally would fall under an age-based window of 5 years to compete, beginning upon high school graduation or when they turn 19 years old. Baker acknowledges that it is difficult to implement such a policy shift, and grandfathering in current athletes remains a topic to sort through before getting this over the line in short order. But getting it over the line in short order is what Baker wants. He wants this to get done, and he wants this to be the law of the NCAA by this summer. And again, the major question that raises is what happens to all of the college athletes who just played 4 years of a college sport and now all of a sudden find themselves with a 5th year if they want it.
They have to have it in writing that it begins with with athletes eligible for the 2026 that are coming in as freshmen, right? That's how you have to do it?
Yeah, well, I would think that would be rational implementation, or at least give another year before you implement it and then you start grandfathering people in. Because if you were to implement that like in June, total chaos. Like here are the
court cases left and right.
Here are the implications for, let's use it as an example, Kansas basketball. Trey White and Melvin Council would have another year of eligibility if they wanted to use it. The professional
one has already said they would like to play.
Yes, and Melvin Council already in the portal.
Yeah.
Neither player has what you would call like sure shot NBA prospects, right? Like we're not talking about somebody who is definitely, I know Melvin Council had a really good showing at the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament, and maybe that put him onto some radars as maybe a 2nd round pick, but these are not like lock NBA guys, right? So the possibility exists that those two would have eligibility. Well, I'm sure Kansas would love to have those guys back, but also if you're waiting until June to find out whether or not those guys would be eligible, you got to fill out a roster. Like Kansas has to get players. They got 8 guys on their roster right now. And they're waiting on Tyron Stokes, certainly, but then they're also trying to fill out that roster. And then what if all of a sudden you're in a spot where, oh man, we got all our scholarships handed out, but we could have kept Melvin Council around? You don't think Kansas would love to keep Melvin Council in the fold? Trey White would help them. So that would be the impact that would have on, that's just one program.
Yeah.
That's just one program in one sport. It would be absolute chaos for the portal, for uncommitted athletes right now, for incoming freshmen who've committed to a program, and all of a sudden that program's like, well, actually, we had a graduating senior who'd like their 5th year, and well, we want veterans, so we're gonna take that player. We're not going to take you. It would be a total mess. They have to give at least 1 year for coaches and athletic departments to prepare for this.
Yeah.
And I think your idea of this doesn't apply to current athletes, but would apply to the freshman class starting in that enrolls in 26-27 or that enrolls in 27-28. Maybe that makes more sense. Dude,
you have to have it in writing like that, or it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, that's what I would think. That's exactly what I would think. But that is Charlie Baker's desire, is to get something done this summer, and could potentially really throw a major wrench into the works of roster building, most notably for basketball. Let's go to another headline. You got an NBA headline, Spencer. Or, no, I'm sorry, an NFL headline.
Yes. This just coming down in the last, let's say, 23, 24 minutes. George Pickens is, in fact, signing his franchise tag with the Cowboys, according to Adam Schefter. He is guaranteed $27.3 million for 2026. He is also now officially a rostered player for the Cowboys, which means he can be traded, which is key because he could get traded tonight.
Yeah, I suppose he could. I suppose anything is possible. I think the Cowboys want to keep him. I just think they don't want to keep him beyond this year on what he's asking for.
Yeah.
So, that saga taking a turn. Apparently, there's been an olive branch extended between the Cowboys and his agent, David Mulugheta, who is also Micah Parsons' agent, quite notably. So, we'll keep an eye on that. We touched on this earlier. Well, this will be our final headline before we get into the playoff roundup. As you do when you've actually done nothing wrong, and it's just all a complete and total misunderstanding by everybody involved, Mike Vrabel is going to seek counseling, and he's going to do so during day 3 of the NFL draft. That news broke late last night. Then a whole bunch of pictures came out today regarding Vrabel and what sure looks like a relationship outside of his marriage with former NFL writer for The Athletic, Diana Rossini. Vrabel made a statement Wednesday night in which he said, I promised my family, this organization, and this team that I was going to give them the best version of me that I can possibly give them. In order to do so, I've committed to seeking counseling starting this weekend. This is something that I've given a lot of thought to, and it's something I would advise a player to do if I was counseling them. I've always wanted to lead by example and believe this is what I have to do to be the best husband, father, and coach that I can possibly be. This is not an easy thing for me to admit, but it is one that I know will make me a better person. What are you admitting? What are you admitting, Mike Vrabel? It's not an easy thing for you to admit. Apparently, it's so hard that he's not admitting anything. One that I know will make me a better person. I appreciate the support that everyone has given me and promise a stronger resolve as a result. So in case you have missed it, if you are not as terminally online as the rest of us are, Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini were pictured having a good time together at an adults-only resort in Sedona, Arizona. They claimed it was totally innocent. We were just holding hands like friends do and embracing each other like friends do and hanging out in a hot tub where like friends do. And
which Diana was with a bunch of friends, and they were one said they were at a breakfast. Then today,
yeah,
they're at a breakfast, but it's just them and 2 plates.
Yes, just them and 2 plates, as you do. So it's gotten uglier. It's gotten a lot seamier, and it's not a story that makes anybody involved look real good, including Vrabel. I don't know what the long-term, I don't know what even really is an appropriate way to discipline Mike Vrabel for this, but certainly it appears that he's got some explaining to do at home at the absolute least. We're going to put the playoff roundup on a little bit of a hold here because we have just seen a tornado warning come across our desk. And if you are watching on 580 WIBW's Facebook page, WIBW News, you are watching on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk on YouTube, we're going to get a radar map thrown up because we do have a tornado warning that has been issued for East Central Geary County, Southeastern Riley County, Northwestern Wabunsee County, and Southwestern Potawatomi County. And this tornado warning is active until 6 p.m. At 5:16 p.m. Central Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Ogden, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Radar has indicated rotation and golf ball-sized hail. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. Locations impacted in this warning include Manhattan, Ogden, St. George, and I-70 between mile markers 304 and 320. If you are in any of those areas, take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Again, we have just had a tornado warning issued for East Central Geary County, Southeastern Riley County, Northwestern Wabunsee County, and Southwestern Potawatomi County, and this is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. We're going to get a look at a radar map here of the area and do some zooming in for you. If you are, again, watching our video stream on 580 Sports Talk on YouTube or WIBW News on Facebook, you are able to see what we are seeing here. And you can see that the most intense portion of this storm as we run the radar map is approaching Manhattan from the southwest. And right now moving through Ogden and up towards Eureka Lake. The most intense portion of that storm, right north there of I-70. And you can see where you have the potential for what they call radar-wise, maybe a bit of a hook echo in the lead of that storm as it continues to develop and form. We'll try and get it paused here to take a closer look at just the shape that it is taking right now. But, bearing down right now on Manhattan and parts west and northwest, the storm moving in from the southeast. Part of a storm surge that we are seeing develop well to the southeast down near east of McPherson, southeast of Salina. There are some storms developing down in that area along Highway 56, north of Highway 50. and a storm line of storms that is moving east and moving northeast. Well west of our headquarters right now, our studios in Topeka. But again, we do have the tornado warning issued for East Central Geary County. And now we have an adjustment to that warning and an additional warning as well. So we've now working with two tornado warnings. The one we had initially placed for northeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabunsee, and southwestern Pottawatomie counties. The latest update on that at 5:22, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Ogden, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Again, locations impacted include Manhattan, Ogden, St. George, and I-70 between mile markers 304 and 310. This newest tornado warning is for southeastern Geary County, southeastern Riley County, and northwestern Wabunsee County until 6 o'clock. And that storm, the update on that, this tornado warning until 6 o'clock as well. At 5:22 Central Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 9 miles north of Dwight, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. With both storms, radar has indicated rotation and possible golf ball size hail. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. The locations impacted in this newest tornado warning are Alma and McFarland, and I-70 between mile markers 313 and 332. So taken all together, Manhattan, Ogden, St. George, I-70 between mile markers 304 and 332. If you're in those areas, take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. We have two active tornado warnings right now until 6 o'clock Central Time for northeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabunsee, and southwestern Pottawatomie County, and for southeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, and northwestern Wabunsee County. You can continue to see on the radar the warning areas kind of overlap a little bit with each other as this storm continues to move. It went through Junction City and continued to gather intensity as it moves northeast and east, and starting to, it appears, gain in some severity south of I-70 as it goes as well. You're looking there in the area of Geary, moving out toward Bolland. We mentioned Alma and McFarland are included in the latest of the tornado warnings. And the way that the warnings are tracking suggests further movement east, northeast, and kind of along that line there of I-70. So if you're in Maple Hill, if you're in Rossville, Silver Lake, St. Mary's, Pottawatomie County, into western Shawnee County, the storms appear to be tracking towards that area. The storms with the potential for tornadic activity right now moving up towards Manhattan, towards Alma and McFarland, and towards I-70. Those are the most severe storms right now that are in our listening area. There are also severe thunderstorm warnings that remain in effect, one until 5:45 p.m. Central Time for Geary, southeastern Riley, and northwestern Wabunsee counties, including Junction City, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, Bolland, and I-70 between mile markers 294 and 321. There's also been one issued for southeastern Dickinson County, Geary County, southern Riley County, Morris County, western Wabunsee County, and southwestern Pottawatomie County until 6 o'clock. That's an active severe thunderstorm warning that includes Manhattan, Junction City, Wamego, Harrington, Council Grove, Alma, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, St. George, White City, Alta Vista, Dwight, McFarland, Louisville, Wilsey, Parkerville, Latimer, Keats, Council Grove Lake, and Volland, and I-70 between mile markers 293 and 333. So those are the areas right now where you really want to be weather aware. And again, if you are in an area being impacted by one of our two tornado warnings we're keeping an eye on, one for northeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabunsee, and southwestern Pottawatomie County, and one for southeastern Geary, southeastern Riley, and northwestern Wabunsee County, please do take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. And the National Weather Service has issued a pair of tornado warnings west of our studios in Topeka, out in those areas. And we are continuing, again, to keep an eye. You can watch a live radar map if you are watching our YouTube stream at 580 Sports Talk or our Facebook page at WIBW News. We'll give you the best angle we can on the radar as these storms continue to track. And you can see on the radar right now that this storm bearing down really on Manhattan, and not going to be long before the severest portion of that storm is in Manhattan. Is the way that the storm is extending out. You almost see it grow like a yellowish arm, so to speak. I know that's not the technical term, but the intensity of the storm extending out as it approaches Manhattan, an area south and southwest and southeast of Manhattan, kind of along a line. And that's where you would be really concerned to see that hook echo or that kind of activity that could potentially spin up a tornado. So that's what we are keeping an eye on as we go along. If anybody has anything to contribute in the way of storm spotting, anything that you have seen, or anything that you are tracking from your spot where you are listening right now, you can help us out on the text line with some eyewitness reports. 785-272-9429 is the number to text, and we would be happy to pass along any information that you believe that we or your fellow listeners would find useful to pass along. So we have an update to the tornado warning in effect until 6 p.m. Central Time for southeastern Riley, northwestern Wabunsee, and southwestern Pottawatomie counties. Again, that storm capable of producing a tornado. That one is in effect until 6 o'clock. And the update on that storm is that at 5:30 Central Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 6 miles east of Ogden, moving east at 30 miles per hour, radar indicating rotation, tornado, and half-dollar-sized hail. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. Locations impacted include Manhattan and St. George. So if you are in Manhattan and St. George, take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Again, the National Weather Service has issued 2 tornado warnings for our listening area, and we have an update on the second of those updates. The one we just told you about, we've changed the we've changed some of the information on that, so we're trying to get it up on the scroll on our live video stream on 580 Sports Talk on YouTube and on WIBW News on Facebook, trying to keep you as up to date as we possibly can on those tornado warnings. Here's the latest. At 5:32 Central Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 6 miles south of Manhattan, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. And locations impacted include St. George. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. If you are outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Again, the tornado warning remains in effect until 6 o'clock for southeastern Riley and south central Pottawatomie counties. So Wabunsee County has been removed from that particular tornado warning. There is still a warning in effect for east central Geary, southeastern Riley, and northwestern Wabunsee counties. This is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. And the latest on that storm at 5:33 p.m. Central Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northwest of Bolland, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Radar indicating rotation. Hazards include a tornado and golf ball-sized hail. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur, and tree damage is likely. Locations impacted include Alma and McFarland. This includes I-70 between mile markers 314 and 332. If you are in those locations, Alma, McFarland, I-70 between mile markers 314 and 332, and also St. George in the line of our other tornado warning we're keeping an eye on. Please take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building and avoid windows. If you're outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Let's take another look at the radar map as these storms continue to develop. And trying to zoom out on the map a little bit, you see that the intensity of the storms has kind of waxed and waned a little bit. Does not look as though it is. It looks like it's weakening in severity a bit as it approaches Greater Manhattan. Does look like there is a bit more intensity in the storm that was south of Junction City, approaching kind of the southern portion of I-70, and that's the storm that might be tracking toward Alma and McFarland. That warning is under. This is all part of a storm system that has developed down towards Interstate 135, kind of between McPherson and Emporia is where the genesis of this storm system has been. And there's a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings behind this storm, in addition to the 2 tornado warnings that we're keeping an eye on. Want to make sure that we have the most up-to-date information on the severe thunderstorm warnings for our listening area as well. There's one in effect until 5:45 Central Time for Geary, southeastern Riley, and northwestern Wabunsee counties, including Junction City, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, and Volland. There is also one in effect until 6 o'clock for southeastern Dickinson County, Geary County, southern Riley County, Morris County, western Wabunsee County, and southwestern Pottawatomie County. That includes Manhattan, Junction City, Wamego, Harrington, Council Grove, Alma, Ogden, Grandview Plaza, St. George, White City, Alta Vista, Dwight, McFarland, Louisville, Wilsey, Parkersville, Parkerville, Latimer, Keats, Council Grove Lake, and Volland, including I-70 between mile markers 293 and 333. So those are the storms, again, that are in our listening area that we are keeping an eye on. And if you are watching our YouTube stream at 580 Sports Talk or on YouTube or on Facebook at WIBW News, we'll continue to show you the radar map as it goes. We are going to take a quick 2-minute timeout here on 580 WIBW, and we will return with more tornado severe weather coverage right after this. You're listening to 580 WIBW. This is 580 Sports Talk on 580 WIBW. Dan Lucero and Spencer Dupuis are with you. We are keeping an eye on tornado warnings in our area. And as we come back from that timeout, it's now tornado warning singular. We are down to just one tornado warning in the area that we are tracking. And it looks like actually that's just been removed as well. So there are no longer tornado warnings for our listening area, which we are certainly happy to hear. But there continue to be severe thunderstorm warnings that we will keep our eyes on. There's one until 5:45, so just another 3 minutes now for Geary, southeastern Riley, and northwestern Wabunsee counties. And then there's the one until 6 o'clock for southeastern Dickinson, Geary, southern Riley, Morris, western Wabunsee, and southwestern Pottawatomie County. We will continue to keep you weather aware as events warrant here on 580 Sports Talk. But with the severe threat having passed for now, at least the tornado threat having passed for now, we can get back into 580 Sports Talk. And just in time, Spencer, to be able to tell the people how you think the NFL draft is going to go tonight. Round one of the NFL draft. We got my mock draft in the 3 o'clock hour. We got Brendan's mock draft in the 4 o'clock hour. Now it's your turn, Spencer Dupuis.
I was worried that the weather would not allow this to happen.
And then you wouldn't have been able to go on record, at least not on public record. But we do have your mock draft. We're gonna put it up on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, and our Facebook page, WIBW News. Spencer, go ahead and walk us through how you see the draft unfolding.
Obviously, we know Fernando Mendoza is going number one. He'll be in his home with his family. Gotta love that. Respect to the man for wanting to be around his family. Going to the Raiders. Unfortunately, where players go to die.
Harsh but fair.
Yeah. Maybe Tom Brady has something to say about it. So I don't know. The Jets go with David Bailey at number 2. I
have them going Bailey as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they need an upgraded edge. Obviously, quarterback is not this year for them. Then I got the Cardinals taking Arvil Reese at 3. Again, they need a quarterback, but not this year. Obviously, not a lot of guys behind Fernando Mendoza that are top 3 worthy picks. I think Jeremiah Love goes to the Titans at 4.
So we're in lockstep through the first 4 picks, you and I.
Yes, I did notice that. I looked earlier.
Sure.
But this, I think, is where I differ from you.
Yes, this is where we part company.
I've got Sonny Styles going to the New York Giants. I think if Love was still on the board at 5 and the Titans went Styles, I think Love would have gone to the Giants. That's not happening. The Browns could use their next all-pro offensive tackle, and I think they're going to get it. University of Miami, Francis
Moangoa. I think he does pronounce the G as an NG, like Tua Tagovailoa does. I think I've heard him say it Moangoa. So I read Moanoa. Yeah. I've heard him say Moangoa. We'll all learn tonight, right?
Yes. Then at 7.
No trades in your mock draft.
No
for the
trades.
None of us did any trades. We were all too chicken and too cheap to pay for the expensive Pro Football Focus mock draft that includes trades.
My beloved Washington Commanders at number 7. And honestly, the guys that were at 7, 8, and 9 that I have, even 10, I think we're all in contention to be this pick. But I think the Commanders, they need to go back to having an all-pro safety. They attempted to draft one in 2007 with LaRon Landry, but he decided to be a juicer and not a great player. So the last guy they drafted that was an all-pro caliber safety, fortunately his life was cut short in 2007, Sean Taylor. I think Caleb Downs is an all-pro guy, and I think they need it at that safety position. That's just been a bunch of free agents that they've tried to put together the last couple of years. Love me Jeremy Revo. He's not a starting caliber defensive back. He's a special teamer at best. Then at number 8, I got Ruben Bain going to the Saints. They obviously could use an edge rusher. And this is where we talked about this earlier. We were debating our Chiefs picks. The Chiefs are just going to see what falls at number 9. And I think that's Mansour Delane, the best cornerback in the draft. I think he is going to the Chiefs, and they have him for 5 seasons. They have their starting cornerback, all pro potentially, for 5 seasons locked in with the 5th-year option, which would take them quite a few more years before they need to sign a cornerback to a long-term deal, which would maybe be on the back end of Patrick Mahomes' career when it comes to the money on his contract at the age he'll be. Then at number 10, I got Carnell Tate, going to the Giants. Giants missed out on an offensive guy at number 5 because Love went at 4.
Now they want a receiver and probably a defensive player. That seems to be the conventional wisdom. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think because they got Styles at 5, they're going to go wide receiver here. Number 11, the Dolphins. They need secondary help wherever they can get it. They're getting Oregon's Dylan Thieneman. I know a guy that says that's Thieneman. Spells exactly the same. Cowboys go corner help here with my mic keeps cutting out.
Jermod McCoy at number 12. Spencer Fano at 13 to the Rams, the tackle. He potentially could go at 6 to the Browns, but I think the Browns ultimately go with Malachi Lemon, the second receiver off the board to the Ravens. I think that at 14. I think Akeem Mesidor. I think the Bucks ultimately trade this pick, but I have him at 15. Or Brendan has him at 15 as well. Yeah. I think I do too. Yeah. It's me. It's not Brendan. Anyway, okay. Continue. 16, the Jets. 16, the Jets get their wide receiver there after getting an edge at number 2. That's Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State. 17, Monroe Freeling, the tackle, going to Detroit. Obviously could use some offensive line help with the retirement of an offensive tackle. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. Number 18, the Vikings. Taylor Decker.
Yes, Taylor Decker retired. At number 18, the Vikings select Caden McDonald, the defensive lineman out of Ohio State. Number 19, the Panthers select tight end Kenyon Sadiq.
You and I have the same pick there.
Yeah, I don't really like this pick. I don't think he goes to the first round, but he's going to go because somebody needs a tight end. The Panthers do. 20, the Cowboys back on the clock. They need a linebacker. They go with C.J. Allen out of Georgia. 21, the Steelers get a guard from the state of Pennsylvania, from Penn State. I'm not even going to attempt
Mr. Ione.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to attempt his name.
We'll learn tonight.
At number 22, the Chargers go with Toledo safety Emmanuel McNeil Warren. It's cut off on my thing. I can't remember the rest of his last name. 23, the Eagles could always load up on edge rushers. They get Keldrick Folk out of Auburn. Number 24, the Browns back on the clock for the second time. They continue with the offense. They go Omar Cooper Jr. out of Indiana. I love that guy. I wish he was available later on for the Chiefs. The Bears at 25 go with Florida defensive lineman Caleb Banks, as we've got second defensive lineman off the board. At number 26, the Bills go with Oregon guard Emmanuel Pregnon. 27, the 49ers go with Clemson tackle Blake Miller. 28, the Texans go with Clemson defensive lineman Peter Woods. So we've got our second defensive lineman picked in 4 picks. At 29, the Chiefs go Denzel Boston. Brendan agrees with me. Tall, great receiver for Patrick Mahomes, something he's never had in his career. The guy that's hopefully on the straight and narrow. Number 30, the Dolphins need secondary help. At their second pick, they continue with that.
All 3 of us, I think, have Avion Terrell there from Clemson to the from the Dolphins.
So Terrell to the Dolphins. Number 31, Caden Proctor from the tackle from Alabama. I don't know what's going to happen there. All I know is that Mike Vrabel is set to speak in about 30 minutes, so that'll be interesting.
That will be interesting.
And at 32, I don't really know if they stick and pick here with Dan, your Seahawks, but I've got them going Cassius Howell, the edge rusher out of Texas A&M.
I'm just going to tell you, I would hate that pick. I would hate that pick for the Seahawks. Just don't think that's a need. Cassius Howell, it's one thing. Ruben Bain has short arms, but he dominated. Cassius Howell has short arms too, and he didn't exactly dominate. Not like Ruben Bain did. Yeah. So I don't love that one, Spencer. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong on that one. We're going to take one last break here on 580 Sports Talk. We'll come back with the final word right after this. All right, final word time on this edition of 580 Sports Talk. Spencer Dupuis, what you got for your final word today?
Excited for tonight's draft. All those mock drafts are going to probably potentially mean nothing because only
Except mine. I'm going to go 32 for 32. I don't know what
I
anybody
meant
else
I meant all the national pundits that have random guys going to random places, because tonight the GMs, the head coaches, the people in charge, they make the picks. We're done with all these people just predicting and trying to think who's going to go where and what's going to happen. In a few hours, we're going to know who the Chiefs are going to have, and we'll break it down 8:30. We'll be on for part 1 as they pick number 9, potentially. Maybe do they move up? What do they do? We'll break it all down. I'm excited for the draft coverage tonight and into tomorrow. But NFL draft is tonight. Lives are changing tonight. Teams' fates are changing tonight. I'm all for it.
Yes, please join us for the NFL Draft Stravaganza from 580 Sports Talk. The whole crew will be together on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk. We'll go live at 8:30. We'll react live to the Chiefs' pick at number 9, presuming that is where they pick. I kind of think it's where they're going to pick. And if they do make a move up the board, I don't think it will be a dramatic move up the board, but we'll scramble the Jets and we'll react as soon as we can to that if they do move up the board. 8:30 just works out the best for the two fathers of young children on the crew. So that's why we're going live at 8:30. Join us. Hang out with us on YouTube tonight. Ask us questions. Banter in the live chat. We look forward to hearing from you tonight on 580 Sports Talk's YouTube channel for the Draft Stravaganza. And I will be welcoming the distraction because it is one of those fun nights where both of my favorite NBA and NHL teams play playoff games at the same time. I don't enjoy that at all. My stomach already hurts. Nuggets, Timberwolves, game 3. Aaron Gordon's out for the Nuggets tonight, which means I don't think they're going to win. I wonder where that betting line moved, because the Nuggets were 2-point favorites earlier this afternoon, but with no Aaron Gordon, they are now only favored by 1.5. I don't know what Vegas knows, but God, I hope they're right. Also, game 3 of the Avalanche Kings series. That's much less of a sweat. I think even if the Kings win game 3 tonight, the Avalanche aren't losing that series. But 2 playoff games and the draft. I'm going to be surrounded by sports in the cave tonight and talking with our guys and enjoying the fun times on the YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk. So I do hope that you will join us tonight. 580 Sports Talk on YouTube at 8:30. And then join us tomorrow from 3 until 6 when we recap day 1 and preview day 2 of the NFL Draft. For Brendan Warzinski and Spencer Dupuis, I'm Dan Lucero, and this was 580 Sports Talk. Good night!